All right. Good morning, everyone. It is Thursday, July 10th. We're taking a look at NASDAQ this morning. Yesterday, we saw those fresh all time highs being made. Pretty quick reversal, 10 a.m. reversal time from those highs. Price came almost back into the 22,900, almost filled the small overnight gap that we saw during yesterday's regular session. Here it is. Regular trading hours 5-minute chart here on NQ. You can see that gap was almost filled. NQ traded down into some prior day structure, some Tuesday structure, Tuesday value area high. You have the little spring setup right through there, and that pretty much marks the low for the session. So a retest back into that weekly volume point of control and then almost into the 22,900 level of interest. This is why I don't really like to treat levels as exact pinpoint locations, but more so zones, personally, how I go about it. Into the afternoon, we get the bounce, right? See that nice bounce there on the hourly chart. And then during the overnight session, what has happened? We get the pullback into 23K and then now a bounce. Price pretty much bumping up against overnight high here. So we're going to have an open kind of in no man's land. I'm looking for some action either versus 23K or up into 23,100. We currently have the overnight high at 77. So that'll be worth keeping an eye on as well. Taking a look at the economic data calendar. We don't have any 10 a.m. prints or anything like that. We do have some Fed speak today. But that's about it. 30-year bond auction at 1 p.m. Those really haven't been all that market moving, at least lately. Yesterday, as expected, the FOMC minutes, just a nothing burger there. That's pretty typical for the minutes. I see a lot of people get the FOMC meeting confused with the FOMC minutes. They are two entirely different things. The FOMC minutes is just going to be a recap of the last meeting. Meeting minutes. Meeting minutes. A lot of people were thinking yesterday was an actual FOMC Fed rate announcement. Not the case. Not the case. Details. Details matter. Details matter. So this morning, we'll see if buyers are going to continue this directional move up from 23K, maybe a retest into the all-time high, a retest into the 23,100 level of interest, and then potentially, if we actually see price show acceptance above that point, some fresh price discovery. In which case, we will use some fib extensions for targets. 162 is right there, 238 is right there. So no crystal ball. Just looking at how price has unfolded, how the structure looks. And that helps us determine what some of the easier plays of the session are going to be. About 2.5 minutes until the open. Some nice two-way action yesterday. We haven't seen that in a few days. I was really happy with that action yesterday. Monday, pretty choppy. Tuesday, choppy. Wednesday, we get some decent action. Like we always say, patience pays. It pays to wait for some of that better action. Yeah, that was pretty nice. Dom says, plan, execute, repeat. Yes, sir. Got to get some review in there. Plan, execute, review, repeat. Trade review. That's where all the growth is. Very few traders want to do it, but that's where all the sauce is. That's where all the growth is at. Yeah, review is essential. A lot of people don't want to do it. A lot of people do not want to do it. I had a guy tell me once he didn't understand what he was going to get from it because they were just losing trades. He didn't want to look at it because it made him feel bad. And it's like, that is the point. That is the point, man. Review those trades. It's where discipline is made. Yes, sir, Chad. All right, we're coming into the open here. 15 seconds. Let's see. Let's see what we're working with. No plans for any opening drive trade for me. There's the open. So session volume point of control right there at 58. VWAP down at 30. NQ up and through your overnight high. Just shy of 100 now. Let's see, do I have a gap? Small gap, but still in the prior day's range. So not a real gap. NQ and prior day close. So that small gap that was there has been filled. Staying patient. Staying patient here. NQ into VWAP. VWAP, no real alignment with anything else other than a little bit of pre-market structure here. I'll wait for 23K. TSX lagging, Dom. Not even loading for Mish. Gotta get that backup. Gotta get that backup Tradovate account. New low of day, NASDAQ. Volume pretty light this morning compared to yesterday. Still cash here personally. There's a nice overnight high up thrust. If you like shorting. Session volume point of control steps lower into 41 now. A little consolidation here near VWAP. One morning you're slapping the open, and the next you're staying cash. It's the life of a trader right there. TPT, Dom. It's the way to go. TPT. I recommend the 25K account at TPT. Nice 1-to-1 ratio. No activation fee right now. Look at this volume. Check out that volume. Well below average. And he says, might be another pool day. Yeah. I mean, by the looks of this open, NQ back near the lows right there. Charts aren't loading in TSX. Is the DOM loading? If you have trading view and the DOM is loading, you could still manage it. DOM is running. There you go. There you go. So NASDAQ just consolidating here near VWAP session volume point of control. Like I mentioned before the open, wanted to see either 100 or the 000 23K. Almost 15 minutes into the sesh. Still cash. Still cash. There's just no volume here. Let's check out S&P. Pretty similar. That 63.13 on ES remains significant right there. 63.13. If you see a break of that level, go for all-time highs on ES. Check out good old RTY Russell. Little bounce there from the overnight low. Couple of rejections at VWAP. NQ, is that a new low of day right there? That's your new low of day on NASDAQ. We definitely have some divergence between NQ and ES. Who's heavy this morning? Is it NVIDIA? Let's see. It's not Tesla. Might be Meta. Might be NVIDIA. You guys see NVIDIA's 4 trillion market cap now? My goodness. This is insane right here. Wow. I mean, wow. Imagine you bought the dip in April. Everyone's looking for a double on Bitcoin or whatever. You could have just bought NVIDIA. You didn't even need Bitcoin. You didn't even need it. 4T. It's larger than some entire sectors of stocks. A little uptick in volume here on NASDAQ. Got about 12 minutes till 10 a.m. No data. NQ new low of day. Getting into that 23K now. There's 23K. We'll see if there's any interest from buyers through here. Prior day volume point of control at 981. ES, new low of day. NQ looks like no interest at 23K. And we get into prior day volume point of control, 983, and then the overnight low. Coming right up. A little uptick in volume here. So that's definitely an improvement. How many points is this range? 100 points? That's not bad. $23K and overnight low stays on watch as we get into 10 a.m. Now into the shallow fib, 23% fib retracement. Right back beneath that 23K. See if we get a sweep of the overnight low. Little sweeper. It's pretty much a line in the sand before 900. And you got that prior day low and 900 area there. Prior day low at 919. There's your overnight low. As we get into 10, still have 7 minutes till 10 a.m. Dang. This is the kind of setup you want to align a little closer to 10 a.m., at least personally. Good volume. Good volume. Pretty much zero follow through so far. May have a date with that prior day low. PVL. RTY new high of day. Timmy, you still there? Still in there, Timmy? Timmy's gone. Oh, you're staying out? All right, all right. I thought I saw you talking about it earlier. NQ coming into the lows. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what kind of action we get at 900 if this area fails. New low of day. NASDAQ. Two minutes till 10 a.m. No data. If we're still in this area, overnight low will remain on watch. TSX still down, Dom? Yeah, not worth it. Not worth it. The tool is not working properly. Best to just lock it out. I remember those days with Think or Swim. Oh my goodness. Brutal. So there's your continuation. Beneath the overnight low, we're looking at prior day low and the 900 level of interest. Good uptick in volume now. That's what we like to see, some audience. And here's 10 a.m. NQ into that value area low from yesterday. The bounce spot from yesterday's sesh. I like to see prior day low or the 900 level of interest. Almost into that prior day low, 919.75. It's the exact level. Good volume. Almost into that shallow fib already. Where's that? 956. Sounds like there's still issues with Top Step X. Careful. Careful with that. Platform issues can lead to frustration, and then that can lead to some trades that you later regret. Not even worth it. Not worth it at all. Each bounce just getting sold right into, keeping with the pre 10 a.m. theme. NQ back in a prior day low. New low of day gives the 900 level of interest. Beneath 900, it really starts to open up for sellers. You do have weekly volume point of control right through here. There's your new low of day. Look at that 15 and 30 minute though. Sellers, sellers, sellers on increasing volume. Fresh lows. Now this small unfilled gap from Tuesday to Wednesday about to be filled here. There it is. As we get into 900. 900. At this point, buyers, what they're looking for is an intraday change of character. So you get a little bounce where you expect it, but can it hold is the question. That is the question. So you get a little bounce versus overnight low, just gets sold into. A little bounce versus prior day low, just gets sold into. Smaller bounce versus 900 back in a prior day low, just gets sold into. That's why that higher time frame can really help. Even just the 5 minute. Wait for that bullish 5 minute closure. Make sure you're on the right side of the V. Unless you're shorting, in which case, printing right now. So we'll see if this 5 minute gives a hammer right here. Still has 2 minutes before it fully closes. Personally, I don't like to do any analysis prior to candle closure because you set yourself up for false signals. "30 seconds, still have 5 minute closes." Let's see. So far, price back above prior day low. Need to see sustained action there. Russell on its own. RTY looking really good. Up into the prior day high right now. There's a nice little bounce. Now above this most recent micro lower high, you can start to see an intraday shift. Look at the 5 minute there, gives you the hammer. $4 minutes for the 15-minute bar. So if this next 5 minute candle can show some really good follow through, the 15 minute will likely show a hammer as well. Let's see, let's see, let's see. Russell coming into overnight high. So remember, there's that intraday shift. Sellers, of course, sitting right there. And rejected right there, a shallow fib. Buyers looking for that micro higher low. Buyers so far have stepped in right where they needed to. We talked about the 900 a few minutes ago. It's that weekly volume point of control. Above 950 should unlock the overnight low retest. Dom, you back in TSX? Working again or what? Good entry, Gabe. Nice work. Really good entry. See this shallow fib here? The intraday structure. How's our profile looking? You got a high volume node building out. $15-minute closure in 10 seconds. Buyers looking for that push above 950. It's looking a little better. There you go. Up to 950. More than likely, you can see a test of the overnight low now. Like to see price through 15-minute prior bar high, and that'll also flip the 30-minute bar green. What is that, level 961? Overall, though, a nice bounce from prior day low undercut. It's your prior day low spring setup with the level of interest right through there as well. Those intraday reversals can be a little tougher, but so far has worked nicely. Trail should be in profit if you ask me. Here we go. 15-minute now testing prior bar high. Let's see that overnight low actually tested. Look at that 30-minute. That still has 10 more minutes before it closes. So good for the confidence and playbook, Dom. Yeah, 100%. 100%. It's always good to see. Helps build the conviction. So remember we talked a few minutes ago about when you kind of have some of the higher time frames on your side. I mentioned the 5-minute. So much easier the longs are once you have the 5-minute hammer closed. Much, much easier. That's why it pays to wait. Don't need to be the first one in. Is the 5-minute close good enough? I like to see price through that high, basically confirmation. You want some confirmation. That's how I like to trade anyway. Sellers back in near that overnight low. Not a true test, but pretty darn close. See if buyers can force the higher low somewhere in this area. Pretty good volume post 10 a.m. compared to this morning. It's looking good. 30-minute closure in 7 minutes, almost an hour into the sesh. So it's watching to see how this little structure unfolds. 5-minute just shows a lower high being built out. Session volume point of control has shifted lower for regular trading hours down into 940. And we're back into prior day low. So if we end up seeing, like I mentioned earlier, if you end up seeing 900 fail, you can definitely open up the gates to some much lower prices just based on the near term structure, 15-minute structure, 30-minute structure. Looks like a little tape acceleration here. Do we have some headlines flying or what? NQ through prior day low coming into 900. It's your level of interest. No follow through on that 15-minute. Yeah, and look at the 30-minute now too. Closes in 3 minutes. Is that the high or low? Wanted to see a little bit of a sweep there. The sweeper. The sweepy. Timmy trading YM. And I haven't looked at YM in a while. Trade anything. Oh man, you're funny. All right, keeping an eye on this next 5-minute closure here. It's possible that this is kind of a late morning base that's building out. Definitely possible, especially with this high volume node here. The high volume node. Yeah, I just saw that, Mish. Timmy, check out the GC THT short. God, that is picture perfect right there. My goodness. May have another 5-minute hammer here. 5-minute higher low hammer. Any follow through? Decent. Back in a shallow fib. Right back into shallow fib. What is that? The 23%. Buyer's still looking for that overnight low retest that we talked about earlier. Any longs should be trailed in profit, if you ask me. RTY, nice bounce near that prior day high. Trails in, Dom. Nice. See a break of this 950 here. Get out and push. Come on. Yeah, RTY ripping, Timmy. That thing's looking real good. Vertical. NQ volume falling off again here. There's your session volume point of control shifted lower. Price may just settle into a late morning range here, late morning base. We'll see. Volume tapering down. Sounds like TSX is back up. Nothing wrong with taking a stop, Dom. It's part of the business, man. As long as it doesn't cause you to go on tilt, that is. Nicole back in ES. Nice. 6,300. Looking good there. And Q coming into that local structure. 965 area. Give me a break of 965. No raising yet, Dom. No, sir. No, sir. No, we're still right at 935. Structure point. Trim a little off right there. I'm just down to runners now. I'm thankful for good trade location because, truth be told, my entries were sloppy today. Not my best work, but there we go. 2 for 2. 2 for 2. Last trade of the morning. I did want to sweep, but I'm flexible. So I go in with half size. And if the sweep hits, I add. It's called adapting. See, I have no crystal ball like some of these traders claim. And so if I see the setup that is pretty close to what I want, I'll take it. I'll take it. Part of the game right there. Part of the game. Location, for me, location is more important than how the actual setup unfolds. So if it's a high or low or a sweep, doesn't make a tremendous difference personally. As long as I'm in the right location. That's like the bulk of my edge. Trade location. Trade location. Just admit you like to trade everything. I like to trade everything with edge, yeah. Yep. If it has edge, then you need to get as many reps as possible. That's the casino model right there. It's a numbers game. Numbers game. NQ, we're bumping into 970. What's up, strong? All right, we're coming in an overnight low right here. There we go. There's your overnight low. Now you can raise them, Dom. You still in? Raise it to 955. Good volume now. To give me 95, I'll let them have it. 995. That's your VWAP. 50% fib. 23K level of interest. I'm going to lift a little bit more. We'll go just beneath 6.4. Just in case there's that overnight low rejection, lock it in. "30-minute is through prior bar high, 15-minute is through prior bar high. 5-minute gave nice higher low there with the Hamsky. And there's the trail. There's the trail. I'm out. I'm out. Yeah, not my best work today. Entries, kind of yucky by my standards. But that's real life trading for you. Not always gonna get it perfectly correct. That's why, I mentioned for me, location is so important because, hang on, we got the leaf blowers right outside my window. With good trade location, you can have a little bit of a sloppier entry and get away with it. With terrible trade location, usually you can't do that. So, good location gives you a little bit of grace. That's the way I view it anyway. And that definitely helped me today. That definitely helped me today. So, we'll take it. I'm going to call it right there. Almost 90 minutes into the sesh. Hope you guys had a good morning. For the rest of the morning here, I'm going to be looking at this late morning range, late morning base that is building out with emphasis on the 900, 22,900 and prior day low area, and then the 23K, the 000 level of interest. That is a wrap for me. We'll keep it going in the Traders Think Tank. Thank you guys for your time. If you have questions, reach out. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow morning. Take care.